Words and pictures on the page have recorded the time since the early days of the printing press. It's true the Heartland Series is a product of a more recent technology. Yet what we do is an illustrated record of times past and times now. Hi, I'm Bill Landry. Like the local Gazette, the Heartland Series collects pieces of news gathered throughout the year. So we've assembled them together here in our own dispatch. Here it is, the holiday edition of Gallivanter's Gazette. Ours is a whimsical collection of discoveries from the past year. There are lighthearted laughs and the darkness of a coal miner's workday. Effie Baker puts a practical spin on cherished poems and tales. And the season is celebrated upon the strings of a hammered dulcimer. Join us as we amble through another edition of the Heartland Series Gallivanter's Gazette. All seriousness aside, in this issue we put the funnies first.
Some people have compared it to a sneeze or something involuntary, you know.
It's sudden, uncontrollable. Your face screws up and the noise explodes forth, but it warms the heart and we welcome it. Laughter.
Well, it's hot. You know how hot it is? Well, it's so hot that there's two trees out there fighting over the same dog.
People who like to laugh and make others laugh gathered recently at Berea College. But try to figure out why we laugh. There's something funny about that.
Some things you can't approach directly. Sex or politics quite often, or religion. With laughter and comedy and humor, you're allowed to completely violate those conventions for a moment.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you, I have really enjoyed the evening. It's been a lot of fun. And I want to tell you, well, yeah, I was so worried I went over to see our psychiatrist up at Elkview this morning. We don't have a general practicing doctor. They seem to think they can't handle us. We've got a psychiatrist up at Elkview. His name's Dr. Sigmund Sizemore. And I said, Dr. Sigmund, I've got a little strain in my throat. I've got to go down to Berea tonight and perform. He said, go in the other room, take off all your clothes. I said, Doc, it's my throat. He said, now you're going to be the doctor, or am I going to be the doctor? So I went in and I started taking off all my clothes. So I'm sitting over there on the stool naked as a jaybird. I said, isn't that awful? I'm in here for my throat. He's got me taking off all my clothes. And the guy said, you're lucky I came in to tune the piano.
The sheetrock hanger, Rayburn digs, comedy is pretty simple. What is humor?
Humor? Oh. Darn, you done asked me a good one there. If you'd asked me, you know, what's drywall or sheetrock, I could tell you. But, humor, I guess humor is what happens when people laugh at you, really.
Have you been accused of being funny?
Yeah, sometimes people tell me I'm funny, you know. Of course, looks ain't everything.
Well, maybe we'll get to see you hang some drywall sometime, but until then, you're going to talk a little?
Yeah, I reckon so. I tell you what, you know anybody needs their crack patched, you call me.
Standing in for a canceled performer, Rayburn stands out in this crowd.
This lady over here, she looks like she's afraid I'm going to come down off the stage and marry into her family. I'm feeling good now, looking good. Of course, this morning, son, I look rough. You wouldn't know it to look at me now. There was something else. I was in there trying to sleep. My old lady come and woke me up. My old lady was something else too. I call her Mean Rawleen, my tater tot. She come in there this morning and woke me up, throwing the mayor at me. That wouldn't have been so bad, but they were still in the can.
Artful humor surprises.
No, my name is Rayburn. And my dad, Bird.
It leads us down the primrose path. You think the punchline is delivered.
Let a smile be your umbrella, and you'll end up with a mouthful of rain.
And then comes the unexpected.
I'm really Virginia Kilgore. You guys have been great. Thank you so much.
In the march through time, the greatest thing since sliced bread was it, toasted.
Pull it forward. You hold this over a fire and you have a toaster. Late 1800 model, manual.
More on the crusty past of toasters later. We jump ahead to the end of an era. Before the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, there was Elkmont, a former lumber town that became the mountain retreat of the region's early influential families. In 1993, time ran out for Elkmont. Caretaker J.P. Higdon saw it to the end. Reminiscent of the original settlers, Elkmont residents gave up the life they knew here. The area has been named for historic consideration, but the ultimate fate of the buildings is up to the Park Service sometime next year. Coming up, the Gallivanter's Gazette features a Campbell County family who spends their workday together in darkness. In the Roaring Twenties, the toast of the town was the swinger.
It swings around in a vertical motion to cook the other side of your toast.
It's a swinger.
A swinger.
See the swingers.
It might be a cooking trick. Oh, better turn it quick. We don't want some burnt bread.
Perfect. Certain advances make work easier, but in deep cold, the darkness never changes. As the sun rises over valleys of white, the Campbell brothers gather for a daily journey. The five brothers and the others of the Horse Creek Coal Company prepare for the darkness of their day. They carry on the work of their father, who started this family mine in 1955. They load into a battery-operated scoop and travel a quarter-mile back into the earth, the roof of the mine inches from their faces.
Did you know about how far to stay down and how far to raise up?
On hands and knees, they work in a claustrophobic space with a damp, sulfury smell of an ancient past. A realm of darkness pierced only by slender threads of light. They work with the weight of a mountain above their heads.
There we go.
About 27 inches where we're working now. It ain't a big enough scene for a big company to go in. And they just wouldn't fool with it.
It's amazing the Campbell family can work in this low coal. The conditions were more primitive in 1955.
He just started here at the dirt, went to mining back. They didn't have no equipment. Just a mining car, they pushed it in, pushed it out.
In these days of stricter regulation, opening a mine isn't quite as simple.
Used to, you could have took $400 or $500 and started the mine. Now, why, if you ain't got a grass sack full of money, you ain't no way, there ain't no need you looking at it till it's gone.
Of the many underground mines once dotting the hills around La Follette, the Campbell family mine remains one of the last operating. Don Campbell echoes the thoughts of many miners.
Mining just ain't that good on anybody's health. And I do it from a kid to do something else.
But for this generation of Campbells, coal is in their blood, mixed forever in the bond of kinship.
I like to work myself. I didn't. I'd done been out.
And another thing on a family mine, the family ain't together like they used to be. You know, used to, a family stayed together, and we've pretty well stayed together here, what we have.
In our travels, we discovered that in nature there are many dramas we never see. Who is food and who is predator in the animal kingdom makes a fascinating study. The assassin bug comes by its name honestly. It aims to sink its curved snout into one of the wasps. Unity keeps them safe. Long before the printed word, there were stories told and stories sung. A genuine example is Effie Baker when Gallivanter's Gazette returns. Where shall wisdom be found? Perhaps in the rhymes of childhood.
We was raised to study the Bible, tell these stories.
You remember Effie Baker. She shared Joni and the Whale with us on an earlier episode. Her father also taught her the 10 Commandments in rhyme.
Thou shalt have no other God but me. Before no idol bend thy knee. Take not the name of the Lord in vain, and do not the Sabbath day profane. Give thy parents honor due, and take heed that thou no murder do. Abstain from words and deeds unclean. Steal not, for thou by God art seen. Tell not a willful lie, nor love it, and what is of thy neighbor's do not covet.
News stories might also have been communicated through song or rhyme in Effie's day, like the Scopes monkey trial.
Then to Dayton came a man with his ideas new and grand, and he said we came from monkeys long ago. But it wasn't very long till he found that he was wrong, and he found that he was barred from every door. Oh, you must not doubt the word that is written by the Lord, for if you do, your house will surely fall. And Mr. Scopes will learn that wherever he will turn, that the old religion's better after all.
It was commonplace to pass along life's practical lessons memorized in verse. Effie's a wondrous record of these.
They all come down to some kind of a story. I mean, you know, something to make people think. Jack Spratt could eat no fat, and his wife could eat no lean. So between them both, they kept the platter clean. Now there's a story in that. They eat up everything. They didn't throw nothing away. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his
We all know
crown.
this one, but the second verse isn't quite as familiar.
Up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He got his mammy to plaster his knob with vinegar and brown paper. Vinegar and brown paper. That was a remedy for a bruise or a cut or something. They went a brown paper bag or some whatever, brown paper, wrapped it up in that was helped the wound, make it heal, get better.
Effie's rhymes are patterns for life. Her parents' gift to her and hers to us. Some are deeply felt, like Little Boy Blue.
The little toy dog is covered with dust, but sturdy and staunch he stands. The little tin soldier is red with rust, and his musket molds in his hands. There was a time when this little toy dog was new, and the soldier passing fair. This was the time when our little boy Blue kissed them and put them there. Now don't you go till I come, he said, nor don't you make any noise. Then toddling off to his trundle bed, he dreamed of these pretty toys. And while he was dreaming, an angel's song awakened our little boy Blue. Oh, the years may be long and the years may be many, but these little toy friends are true. Faithful to little boy Blue they stand, each in the same old place, awaiting the touch of his little hand and a smile of his pretty face. And they wonder while waiting the long years through in the dust of the little chair, what has become of our little boy Blue since he kissed them and put them there. That's a good boy. Yeah.
Ah, the unsung toaster.
Okay, this 1919 toaster is called a flipper. Actually, it flopped instead of flipped at that time.
With the flipper, breakfast could be an adventure. Today's conveniences are dull by comparison. Few people regard bridges as conveniences, but they are. Once only ferries could move people and goods across our rivers. Washington Ferry and Blythe Ferry near Dayton are the two remaining in East Tennessee, as we told you earlier this year. But plans to build bridges nearby threaten to ground them, as has been the fate of other ferries. Charles Smith's business and home at the water's edge may be gone in 2 years, but he knows there's more to be lost.
There may have been as many as 1,000 ferries operated in Tennessee. So that alone makes them an important part of our history. And it would seem like to lose them all and just cut off all contact with that element of our history would not be proper, really.
Progress takes away, but it also gives. It allows us the means to tell the next Gallivanter's Gazette story when we come back.
Let's try inside first. She's been going in underneath this fence here and crawling up over these bales.
Is she not in there now?
No, I wouldn't go in if she was in there.
A barn in the Great Smoky
Especially not
Mountains
one of those
National
tunnels.
Park sheltered priceless stock last April. Wildlife biologists tracked a free-ranging endangered red wolf here and discovered puppies.
Well, this is the first wild-born litter of red wolf pups in a national park.
3 females and a male. I think it'll be exciting to a lot of people. It's the beginning stage of a new, I guess, facet of this program. This is what we're trying to get after is wild-born and raised animals.
As happens in nature, there were tough setbacks. Many pups did not survive. But each generation brings the red wolf population in the Great Smokies closer to the wild. Back in the civilized world of toast,
This is called a pincher. This is the late 1800 model percher. Perch the bread up in a teepee style. Once the toast is cooked on one side, then you physically turn it over and cook the other side. If this looks like a radio, I'm going to get a hold of the antenna. It's actually a toaster. This is the first electric pop-up toaster, 1926.
we hope you've enjoyed this edition of Gallivanter's Gazette. There's really no paper being published here. Ours is a world of videotape and electronic magic. Because of that, we can give you a closing story that tells the joy of the season in sound. The spirit of the season dances in on the strings of Evan Carawan's hammer dulcimer. He is joined by Michael Ginsberg. At this time of the year, it's as if we put our paper to bed. We all look back over our labor and give thanks for our good fortune. The Heartland Series began in 1984. Through the past 10 years, we've been given good friends, loyal sponsors, and you. We hope you'll help us celebrate our 10th anniversary in 1994 as our adventure continues. Happy holidays from all of us at the Heartland Series. Oh, Hattie.
Let's get with it.
We got a fire.
That's normal.